Why do you grow older every day? A philosophical tale about time and life. Chapter 1. The mysterious curse. In a small village nestled among majestic mountains, there was a young man named In. The village wherein lived was a strange place. No one in the village seemed to age. Children grew to a certain age and then stopped, while adults remained in the same appearance, even though time continued to pass relentlessly. At first, and didn't notice it. He lived happily among the always joyful and radiant people, showing no signs of aging or sickness. But at the age of 25, and began to notice something strange. Every day looking in the mirror, he saw himself change a bit. A few small wrinkles at the corners of his eyes, strands of gray appeared in his black hair. While running across fields as he did in his childhood, he realized his body was no longer as agile as before. His heart seemed to beat slower, in a rhythm he could not understand. But the strangest thing was that only in aged, his peers remained as youthful as ever. His mother and father retained the same appearance as when he was a child. Even the elderly in the village, those who should have shown signs of aging, stood firmly like living statues. In was bewildered. Why was he the only one aging while everyone else wasn't? Chapter 2. The journey to find answers. Unable to bear this contradiction, and decided to leave the village to find answers. He traveled to distant lands, seeking wise men and philosophers to inquire about the mystery of time. But all he received were shakes of the head, vague tales of an ancient curse, of a village isolated from the flow of time. Finally, an old man wandering by the river whispered to him, "If you want to know why you age, you must meet the old woman of time. She lives on the farthest mountain peak, where only those ready to face the truth can set foot." And did not hesitate. He journeyed towards the distant mountain, crossing dense forests, braving fierce rivers, enduring storms and lonely nights amidst the wild. With every step, he felt the changes within himself more clearly. He aged day by day. His legs were no longer strong, his skin sunburned by long days of wandering. But strangely enough, he no longer feared it. Chapter 3. The answer from time. After many years of wandering, and finally stood before the small house of the old woman of time. She was a woman with hair as white as snow, eyes as deep as if she had witnessed all of human history. When she saw him, she simply smiled as if she had foreseen his arrival. "You have come to find an answer, haven't you?" she asked. Dayan nodded. "Why is it that only you age, while others do not?" The old woman looked at him for a long time, and then said, "Because you have truly lived, and frowned." The old woman nodded, her voice as gentle as the wind passing through mountain crevices. "The people in your village don't age because they haven't truly lived. They exist, but they don't experience. They don't love, don't lose, don't stumble, don't grow. They are like immobile leaves, lying forever on a branch, never swept away by the wind. But you are different, and you've loved and lost. You've laughed and cried. You've left your comfort zone to walk, to explore, to seek answers. And because of that, you age." At that moment, and realized an important truth. Aging is not a sign of decay, but evidence of life. Each wrinkle is a memory. Each gray hair is a lesson. Every passing year is a chapter in the book he has written himself. Chapter 4. Returning with a new perspective. And left the house of the old woman of time, returning to the village with a peaceful heart. He no longer feared seeing himself age each day. On the contrary, he was proud of it. When he looked at his parents, who retained their youthful appearance, he no longer felt envy or questions. They didn't age because they never truly stepped out of their safe zone to live a meaningful life. Ian knew that one day, his body would slow down, his eyes would blur, and his hair would turn completely white. But by then, he would smile, because he had lived a complete life, a life full of love, loss, joy, and sorrow. Because aging is a sign of a life fully lived. The final lesson. Light bulb. If you feel yourself aging every day, don't be afraid. Be proud, for it is evidence of what you have experienced, what you have learned, and what you have left in this life. Aging is not losing. It's an essential part of the journey of growth. Red Heart.